Sister Wives fans have suspected it for years. They have theorized about it endlessly on Reddit. They have analyzed every glance, every whispered conversation, every suspicious moment caught on camera, and now, in what might be the most revealing footage TLC has ever aired, producers appear to have captured the smoking gun that confirms what viewers have long believed. Robyn Brown is not just a passive observer in Kody's fractured relationships with his ex-wives. She is actively coaching him from behind the scenes, carefully controlling the narrative of his so-called apology tour. The bombshell dropped in episode 12 of season 20, and honestly, it was hiding in plain sight. There was Kody lounging poolside in a Las Vegas cabana, legs spread wide, phone in hand, looking like a man without a care in the world. He was FaceTiming Robyn moments before his highly anticipated meeting with Christine and David Woolley. And what unfolded in that conversation has sent the Sister Wives fandom into an absolute frenzy. Because this was not a supportive wife wishing her husband luck. This was not a concerned partner offering words of encouragement. No, what cameras captured looked far more calculated. Robyn was giving Kody specific instructions about how to handle the conversation. She was coaching him on what to say and, more importantly, what not to say. She was reminding him that this situation involved shared responsibility, a phrase that conveniently deflects blame away from Kody and onto the women he wronged. The timing could not have been more damning. Kody had just returned from North Carolina, where he delivered what many called a hollow apology to Janelle. He was riding high on what he perceived as a successful first stop on his redemption tour. And before he could sit down with Christine, the wife whose departure started the entire family collapse, Robyn needed to get her hands on the steering wheel one more time. What makes this footage so explosive is that it confirms a pattern fans have documented for over a decade. Every major family decision somehow filtered through Robyn first. Every conflict between Kody and the other wives seemed to benefit her in the end. Every attempt at reconciliation mysteriously fizzled before it could gain traction. And now here was video evidence of Robyn inserting herself into a conversation she claimed had nothing to do with her. When Robyn told producers that it never occurred to her to accompany Kody on these trips, the footage told a very different story. She may not have been physically present in that Las Vegas steakhouse, but through that FaceTime call, through those carefully chosen words of instruction, she was absolutely in that room. She was in Kody's ear. She was shaping the apology before Christine ever heard a single word of it. The question Sister Wives fans are now asking is devastating in its simplicity. If Robyn has been gatekeeping Kody's apologies, what else has she been controlling all along? And more importantly, do the producers finally have enough proof to expose the truth? Let us break down exactly what Robyn said during that FaceTime call, because the devil is absolutely in the details here. As Kody sat in that cabana bragging about his poolside location like some kind of discount vacation influencer, Robyn delivered a masterclass in subtle manipulation. And thanks to TLC's cameras, every single word was captured for the world to analyze. First came the reminder about shared responsibility. Robyn told Kody that everyone needed to realize this situation involved accountability from all parties. Now, on the surface, that might sound reasonable, but think about the context here. Kody was supposedly embarking on an apology tour. He was meant to be taking ownership of his failures. He was meant to be acknowledging the pain he caused. And yet, before he could even sit down with Christine, his wife was already planting seeds of deflection in his mind. Shared responsibility is a phrase that sounds diplomatic, but in this situation, it functions as an escape hatch. It allows Kody to say sorry while simultaneously suggesting that Christine, Janelle, and Mary were equally to blame for the family's destruction. It transforms a genuine apology into a negotiation where everyone shares the guilt equally. And that is not accountability, that is damage control. But Robyn was not finished. She also instructed Kody to try not to react. She told him to be patient with however the conversation unfolded. Again, this might seem like reasonable advice from a concerned spouse, but fans who have watched this family for 15 years recognize exactly what Robyn was doing. She was preemptively managing Kody's notorious temper. She was ensuring he would not say anything on camera that could make him look worse than he already does. Think about what that instruction really means. Robyn was not encouraging Kody to genuinely listen to Christine. She was not urging him to sit with the discomfort of his failures. She was coaching him to perform composure regardless of what he actually felt. She was prioritizing optics over authenticity. And that tells you everything about how this apology tour was constructed from the very beginning. The most chilling part of the whole exchange was Robyn's demeanor. She delivered these instructions with the calm precision of someone who has done this many times before. There was no hesitation, no stumbling over words. This was clearly not the first time Robyn had coached Kody through a difficult conversation with one of his former wives. Sources close to the situation have long speculated that Robyn serves as Kody's emotional handler. She determines which relationships he pursues and which ones he abandons. She decides who gets access to him and under what conditions. And now producers have captured footage that appears to confirm those suspicions in devastating fashion. Robyn may claim she had nothing to do with these meetings. She may insist that Kody's relationships with his ex-wives are his own business, but that FaceTime footage tells a completely different story. And Sister Wives fans are not letting her forget it anytime soon. When Janelle sat down with her friends to discuss Kody's surprise visit to North Carolina, she dropped a revelation that sent shockwaves through the Sister Wives fandom. She did not just accept Kody's request for a meeting, she gave him a condition. And that condition was crystal clear: leave Robyn at home. Janelle explicitly told Kody that she had zero interest in having Robyn involved in their conversation. She did not need a translator, she did not need a mediator, and she certainly did not need the woman she holds partially responsible for the family's destruction sitting across from her pretending to play peacemaker. This was between Janelle and Kody, period. Now here is where things get interesting. When producers asked Robyn about accompanying Kody on his apology tour, she claimed it never even occurred to her to go along. She insisted that these were Kody's individual relationships with each wife, and that she had no place inserting herself into those conversations. She positioned herself as the respectful spouse who understood boundaries, but wait, just a moment. If Robyn truly believed she had no role in these meetings, why was she FaceTiming Kody with detailed instructions before his sit-down with Christine? If these were purely Kody's relationships to manage, why was she reminding him about shared responsibility and coaching him not to react? The contradiction is so glaring that it practically screams from the television screen. The truth appears to be far more calculated. Robyn knew that showing up physically would have been a disaster. Janelle made her feelings abundantly clear. Christine would have likely refused to meet altogether if Robyn tagged along. And Mary, despite their complicated history, probably would not have welcomed her presence either. So Robyn adapted. She found a way to be present without being physically in the room. Those FaceTime calls were not casual check-ins between a worried wife and her traveling husband. They were remote control sessions. Robyn was managing these apologies from hundreds of miles away, feeding Kody talking points, reminding him of the narrative they had agreed upon, ensuring he stayed on script even when she could not physically supervise him. Janelle's insistence on excluding Robyn reveals something profound about how the original three wives view her role in the family's collapse. They do not see her as a fellow victim of Kody's failures. They see her as an active participant in their marginalization. They see her as the gatekeeper who controlled access to their shared husband and ultimately helped push them out the door. And Robyn's response to being excluded is telling. She did not express hurt or disappointment. She did not wonder why Janelle would not want her there. Instead, she simply pivoted to remote involvement, proving that her need to control these situations outweighs any respect for boundaries. Janelle said, "Stay home." Robyn heard that as "stay home, but keep coaching through the phone." The audacity is genuinely breathtaking. Sometimes the most revealing moments on reality television happen when producers ask a simple question that catches their subject completely off guard. And in one of the most stunning confessional moments of season 20, Robyn Brown absolutely fell apart when asked about a scenario she clearly never wanted to consider. What would she do if one of the ex-wives wanted to return to the family? The question hung in the air for what felt like an eternity. Robyn's face shifted through a dozen emotions in mere seconds: confusion, fear, panic, and then the tears came flooding. She could barely get the words out as she stumbled through her response, telling producers she did not even want to answer the question because it was making her so unbearably sad. But here is the thing. Robyn was not crying tears of hope. She was not overcome with joy at the possibility of reuniting with her former sister wives. No, these were tears of anxiety. These were the tears of a woman who suddenly realized that the monopoly she has enjoyed over Kody for years might not be permanent after all. Robyn admitted that the question opened what she called a little portal of hope, and then she immediately slammed that portal shut. She said she needed to move away from that thought because she would fall apart. She told producers she could not even be on set if she allowed herself to think about it. Hope, according to Robyn Brown, is dangerous. Let that sink in for a moment. The woman who has spent years claiming she wanted the family to stay together just admitted that the possibility of reconciliation terrifies her so much that she cannot function. The wife who supposedly advocated for her sister wives to work things out with Kody is now confessing that hope itself is her enemy. This emotional breakdown revealed what fans have suspected all along. Robyn does not actually want healing for this family. She does not want Mary or Janelle or Christine to reconcile with Kody. Kody, what she wants is exactly what she has right now: complete and total access to a man she no longer has to share with anyone. The tears were real, the emotion was genuine, but the underlying motivation was pure self-interest. Robyn was not crying because she missed her sister wives. She was crying because for one terrifying moment she imagined a future where she might have to share Kody again, and that thought was so overwhelming that she nearly walked off set. Reports suggest that Robyn has grown comfortable in her role as the only remaining wife. She controls the household, she controls access to Kody, she controls the narrative about why the family fell apart. A returning wife would threaten all of that carefully constructed control. So when Robyn says hope is dangerous, believe her. She means it. Just not in the way she wants you to think. Hope is dangerous to Robyn because hope threatens her position, and protecting that position appears to matter more than any family reunion ever could. The FaceTime coaching sessions and the tearful confessional breakdowns did not emerge from nowhere. They are simply the latest chapters in a story that Sister Wives fans have been documenting for well over a decade. Robyn Brown's pattern of manipulation stretches back to the very beginning of her entrance into the family, and the receipts are absolutely damning. Christine herself exposed one of the most troubling examples during a conversation with David earlier this season. She revealed that during her marriage to Kody, she would confide in Robyn about struggles in her relationship. She trusted Robyn as a sister wife. She believed they had a bond that transcended the competition for Kody's attention. And what did Robyn do with that trust? She ran straight to Kody with every single piece of information. Christine described a devastating cycle. She would vent to Robyn about something bothering her in the marriage. Robyn would then relay that information to Kody, often with her own spin attached. Kody would get angry, and Christine would end up in trouble for simply expressing her feelings to someone she thought was her friend. The betrayal was systematic and repeated over years. When confronted about this pattern, Robyn offered a defense that was almost laughable in its audacity. She claimed she was advocating for Christine. She insisted she only brought information to Kody in an effort to help their marriage. She positioned herself as a concerned sister wife who was simply trying to facilitate communication. But the results tell a very different story. If Robyn was truly advocating for Christine, why did Christine consistently end up punished for her honesty? If Robyn wanted to help the marriage, why did her interventions always seem to drive Kody and Christine further apart? The pattern suggests something far more sinister than innocent advocacy. It suggests a deliberate strategy to undermine Christine's position while strengthening her own. And Christine was not the only target. Fans have documented countless instances where Robyn appeared to position herself between Kody and his other wives. She was always the voice of reason in his ear. She was always the one helping him see situations from what she called the right perspective. She was always conveniently present when major decisions were being made about the family's future. The nanny situation during the pandemic became a perfect symbol of this dynamic. While Mary sat alone in her house, desperate for any contact with the family, while Janelle's kids were barred from seeing their father, while Christine begged for scraps of Kody's attention, Robyn had a nanny coming in and out of her home. The rules that kept the other wives isolated somehow never applied to Robyn's household. This history matters because it provides context for everything we are seeing now. The FaceTime coaching is not an isolated incident. The gatekeeping accusations are not unfounded conspiracy theories. They are the natural continuation of a pattern that has defined Robyn's role in this family from day one, and producers finally seem to have the footage to prove it. Of all the tone-deaf moments Robyn Brown has delivered over 20 seasons of Sister Wives, one comment from this episode might take the absolute crown. While discussing Kody's workout routine and his dedication to staying in shape, Robyn offered a confessional that left fans screaming at their television screens. She said what really makes her swoon over Kody is watching him be such a good dad. A good dad. She actually said those words out loud, on camera for millions of viewers to hear. And the audacity was so staggering that social media practically erupted in real time. Let us examine the reality of Kody Brown's fatherhood for just a moment. This is a man who has 18 children. 13 of those children came from his marriages to Mary, Janelle, and Christine. And by all accounts, his relationships with the vast majority of those kids range from strained to completely non-existent. Gabe and Garrison stopped speaking to him entirely. Hunter has maintained his distance. Gwendolyn has been openly critical on social media. Isabel will never forget that her father chose COVID protocols over attending her major spinal surgery. Yet here was Robyn, gushing about what a wonderful father Kody is, as if the only children who matter are the 5 living under her roof. The The comment felt like a deliberate slap in the face to every Brown child who has been abandoned, ignored, or dismissed by their father over the past several years. Fans immediately recognized the dig for what it was. Robyn was not just praising Kody, she was drawing a line between his children with her and his children with everyone else. She was essentially saying that Kody is a great dad to the kids who count. The implication about the others was crystal clear without ever being spoken aloud. Mykelti recently revealed in an interview that she grew up with 3 moms, pointedly excluding Robyn from that maternal designation. She said she considers Robyn more of a friend than a mother figure. That distinction speaks volumes about how the older Brown children view Robyn's role in their lives. She was never a bonus mom to them. She was the woman who monopolized their father's time and attention. The good dad comment also ignores documented history that even casual viewers have witnessed. Kody needed a nanny while being a stay-at-home father. He looked like an alien learning human behavior when getting Ariella ready for school. He consistently prioritized his comfort over his children's emotional needs. None of this screams Father of the Year. But in Robyn's carefully constructed reality, Kody is a fantastic parent. He is devoted, he is present, he is everything a dad should be. The fact that this version of Kody only exists within the walls of her mountain mansion seems entirely lost on her. What makes this comment particularly cruel is its timing. Robyn delivered this praise while Kody was supposedly on an apology tour for how he treated his family. The disconnect between his alleged remorse and her glowing endorsement could not be more jarring or more revealing. For years, Sister Wives fans have watched Kody Brown manipulate conversations with his wives. They have seen him twist words, deflect blame, and somehow emerge from every confrontation as the victim. Janelle softens when he turns on the charm. Christine used to crumble under his intensity. Even Mary spent decades accepting crumbs of affection and calling it love. But David Woolley is a completely different animal, and watching him see straight through Kody's performance was the most satisfying moment of the entire season. But then David spoke up, and everything changed. Kody had just finished his ridiculous attempt to take credit for Christine's happiness. He actually looked at her and said that if he had not messed things up, she would not have what she has now with David. The arrogance was breathtaking. The audacity was off the charts. Kody was literally patting himself on the back for being such a terrible husband that Christine found someone better. David sat there calmly, letting Kody dig his own grave. And then in the preview for the next episode, viewers saw David deliver the words that fans have been waiting years to hear. He told Kody to start with his kids. He said Kody knew damn well he loved Christine because otherwise he would not have married her and had all those children. He cut through the performance and demanded real accountability. The moment was electric because David has no history with Kody's manipulation tactics. He has no trauma bond clouding his judgment. He has no decades of gaslighting making him question his own perception of reality. David simply saw a man delivering hollow words and called him out on it. Kody's reaction to David's presence revealed everything about his intentions. Before the meeting, Kody complained that he hoped David would not interrupt his efforts to apologize. He wanted Christine's husband to sit quietly while Kody controlled the narrative. He wanted an audience, not a participant. The last thing Kody expected was someone who would actually hold him accountable. Reports indicate that the tension between Kody and David escalates significantly in upcoming episodes. David apparently refuses to simply accept Kody's self-congratulatory version of events. He pushes back, he challenges, he protects Christine in ways that Kody never did during their entire marriage. This is exactly why Robyn was coaching Kody through FaceTime before the meeting. She knew David would not be easily manipulated. She knew this conversation required careful management. And despite all her preparation, David still managed to redirect the entire apology back to where it belonged, on the children Kody has abandoned. Let us talk about what an actual apology looks like. It contains 3 essential elements. First, you acknowledge specifically what you did wrong. Second, you express genuine remorse for the harm you caused. Third, you commit to changed behavior going forward. By this standard, Kody Brown has not apologized to anyone. What he has delivered instead is a masterclass in linguistic gymnastics designed to sound like accountability while accepting absolutely none. Pay close attention to the exact words Kody used during his meetings with Janelle and Christine. He repeatedly said, "I want to apologize," not "I am sorry," not "I apologize," but "I want to apologize." That phrasing is not accidental. It expresses an intention without ever following through on the action. It is the verbal equivalent of saying, "I want to give you $1 million" without ever reaching for your wallet. With Janelle, Kody said he wanted to apologize for being so angry and bitter over the family breakup. Notice what is missing from that statement. He is not apologizing for the actions that caused the breakup. He is not apologizing for the years of neglect or the favoritism toward Robyn. He is apologizing for his emotional reaction after the wives finally had enough. He is essentially saying sorry for being upset that you left me. The pattern continued with Christine. Kody said he wanted to apologize for how the breakup went down and for being angry about it. Again, no acknowledgement of what actually destroyed the marriage. No mention of missing Isabel's surgery. No reference to the years Christine begged for intimacy and connection, just regret about the messy ending, not the decades of dysfunction that preceded it. And here is where Robyn's coaching becomes critically important. Remember her instruction about shared responsibility? That phrase appeared to prime Kody to frame every apology as a mutual failure rather than his personal accountability. It gave him permission to say sorry while simultaneously implying that the wives were equally at fault. The most insulting moment came when Kody told Christine that his apology should help her heal. He positioned himself as doing her a favor by showing up. He framed his hollow words as a gift she should be grateful to receive. The narcissism was so thick you could practically see it hanging in the air between them. Christine saw through it immediately. She called the whole thing weird. She noted how strange it felt to have her ex-husband apologizing for saying he never loved her while her new husband sat right there at the table. The absurdity of the situation was not lost on her, even if she remained polite throughout the conversation. What Kody delivered was not an apology tour. It was a reputation rehabilitation tour. It was an attempt to look like the bigger person without actually doing the work of genuine reconciliation. And the fact that Robyn was coaching him through every step suggests this performance was carefully orchestrated from the very beginning. Real healing requires real accountability, and neither Kody nor Robyn seems interested in providing that. The Sister Wives fandom has reached a boiling point. Across Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and every corner of the internet where Brown family drama is discussed, one demand keeps echoing louder and louder. If Kody gets an apology tour, why does Robyn get to sit comfortably in her mountain mansion pretending she played no role in this family's destruction? TLC made a massive promotional push around Kody's apology tour. They released graphics showing his travel schedule. They teased each meeting like a championship boxing match. They treated his hollow attempts at reconciliation as must-see television events. But conspicuously absent from any of this accountability theater was the woman fans hold equally responsible for the family's collapse. The list of grievances against Robyn has grown impossibly long over 20 seasons. Fans want her to apologize for the nanny situation during COVID, while other wives were completely isolated from Kody. They want her to answer for allegedly convincing Kody to skip Isabel's spinal surgery. They want accountability for the years she reportedly carried information between the wives and Kody, sowing discord at every opportunity. One Reddit user compiled an entire thread of offenses requiring Robyn's acknowledgement. She constantly attacked Christine's position in the family. She supported Kody and Mary's efforts to undermine Christine's parenting decisions. She alienated her children from their half-siblings by creating an environment where Kody's other kids felt unwelcome. She even allegedly kicked the family dog, which for many viewers became a symbolic representation of how she treats anyone outside her inner circle. The demand for Robyn's apology tour is not just about holding her accountable. It is about fairness. If the narrative is that everyone shares responsibility for this family's implosion, then everyone should be making amends. Robyn cannot hide behind Kody's supposed redemption arc while her own behavior goes completely unexamined. Fans have pointed out that Robyn's tearful breakdowns and constant claims of victimhood ring hollow when she has never once acknowledged hurting anyone. In her version of events, she is always the misunderstood wife who just wanted the family to work. She is always the innocent bystander who somehow ended up with Kody all to herself through no scheming of her own. Industry insiders suggest that TLC is well aware of the fan demand for Robyn's accountability. The network has increasingly edited episodes to highlight her contradictions and questionable behavior. The FaceTime coaching footage could have easily been cut, but producers chose to include it. The tearful confession about hope being dangerous could have remained on the cutting room floor, but it made the final episode. Whether this means TLC is building toward a Robyn reckoning remains to be seen, but the audience has made their expectations crystal clear. No more hiding behind Kody, no more playing the victim while refusing to acknowledge any wrongdoing, no more tearful confessionals about how hard this has been for her while the OG wives and their children deal with the actual consequences of this family's destruction. Fans want Robyn's apology tour, and they want it now. The gatekeeping revelations from this season have fundamentally changed how viewers understand the Brown family dynamics. For years, Kody served as the convenient villain. He was the narcissistic patriarch who destroyed his own family through favoritism and neglect. But the FaceTime footage and Robyn's emotional confessionals have revealed a more complicated truth. This dysfunction has always been a partnership. Any hope of genuine family reconciliation now faces an almost insurmountable obstacle. How can Janelle, Christine, or Mary ever trust that conversations with Kody are actually private? How can they believe his words are his own when cameras have captured Robyn feeding him talking points before every major interaction? The gatekeeping is not just an annoyance. It is a fundamental barrier to authentic communication. Robyn's tearful admission that hope is dangerous reveals her true priorities. She does not want this family to heal, if healing means sharing Kody again. She has spent over a decade positioning herself as the primary wife, and she has no intention of surrendering that position. Every coaching session, every carefully worded instruction, every strategic intervention serves one purpose: protecting the status quo where Robyn reigns supreme. The children remain the true victims of this ongoing dysfunction. While Kody embarks on his performative apology tour with the ex-wives, his relationships with the majority of his kids continue to deteriorate. David Woolley was absolutely right to redirect the conversation toward the children. They are the ones who cannot simply walk away from having Kody Brown as their father. They are the ones who will carry these wounds for the rest of their lives. Reports suggest that the upcoming tell-all episodes will feature even more explosive confrontations. Kody allegedly makes shocking accusations about affairs and betrayals. Robyn reportedly breaks down multiple times when challenged about her role in the family's destruction. And the OG wives finally seem ready to stop accepting the narrative that Robyn was just an innocent victim of circumstances beyond her control. The question Sister Wives fans must now consider is whether this show can continue without real accountability. 20 seasons of watching the same patterns repeat has exhausted even the most dedicated viewers. If Kody's apology tour amounts to nothing more than hollow words coached by Robyn through FaceTime, what is the point of continuing to watch? Perhaps the most damning evidence of Robyn's gatekeeping is what we have not seen. We have not seen genuine reconciliation. We have not seen Kody rebuild relationships with his estranged children. We have not seen any of the healing that this apology tour supposedly aimed to achieve. All we have seen is performance. Carefully managed, strategically coached performance designed to rehabilitate reputations without requiring actual change. The proof is in the footage. The producers have shown us exactly who Robyn Brown really is. The only question remaining is whether anyone in the Brown family has the courage to finally hold her accountable. Drop your thoughts below. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned. The next video is waiting, and you won't want to miss what's coming next.